there, and welcome to the DOH Show, Canada's Drag Race, Season 1, Episode 9 review. I'm legendary Fairchild, Ferris Fair.
And I'm Daddy Dextrous, Bambi Dextrous.
Yes, Big D. Welcome to the show.
The final four walk into the workroom, and Jimbo can't wait to win.
Yeah, all of them are extremely confident that they are going to win, and none of them seem to be taking any of the others very seriously. They think all the competition has already left, which I find interesting, because really, they are the top four. Thankfully this week it was not Jeffrey Boyer Chapman's turn to go into the workroom, and we got to see the legendary model, Stacey McKenzie.
Yes, Stacey was there to introduce the mini challenge for the week, Oh No You Better Canada.
What? I just thought it was a really lame name, but it's a standard competition.
Stacey brought in legendary Canadian comedian Sabrina Jolise to help administer this week's mini challenge.
I'd never heard of her.
Oh, I love Sabrina. I was so thrilled that she was on the show, and they all got into quick drag for 20 minutes, and they were into the studio to do auditions.
Yeah, it was actually kind of a singing competition, but they weren't really necessarily supposed to sound very good. It was really just all about personality and silliness, and these were the queens for that, because they all were having a grand old time. I thought Jimbo was absolutely hilarious. He was just absolutely killing it the entire time, but again, that's kind of his go-to. Like, he likes being loud, and anyway, it was very, very well done by Jimbo. I definitely was impressed.
And Sabrina Jolise had the producer's cap on, and she was giving direction to the queens. Be more loud, or sing more slowly, or sing with more emphasis. It was fantastic and made for a really fun edit. Them redoing the Canadian national anthem over and over and over again.
Scarlett did a good job as well. I thought they really banged it out. But really, it was all about Rita for me. Like, it was just like partly her reactions to the nudges as to how they wanted them to go and stuff like that. But I thought Rita nailed.
At least according to the edit, she definitely nailed this challenge.
And the judges seemed to agree, because she was the one that won the competition. Stacey then announced that it was time for the Maxi challenge, and this week it was going to be the big snowball. They had to create 3 different looks. One of them they had to create completely from all new materials. The first look that they needed to come up with for the runway was Executive Holiday Party Realness.
The second look they had to come up with was Icy Walk of Shame.
And finally, the one that they had to use the materials provided by the show, they had to create Ice Queen Eleganza. It was definitely a lot of work for these queens to be making these outfits, and when Stacey was walking around talking to them, it wasn't making it any easier, but it really did bring some beautiful, touching moments to the entire story. Jimbo was extremely confident on the walkthrough and was not going to take any answer other than "I'm gonna win" as what they were gonna do. Extremely confident, proud of everything they've done all season, expecting the win.
And Rita had her head down and she was focused on this design challenge. You know, she's won the last 2 design challenges and she might have it in the bag.
Priyanka was a little upset about being in the bottom a couple of times, and it really threw off her confidence when the one thing that she really thought she was strong in, which was the improvisation, were the 2 challenges that she was in the bottom. So she was really looking for some redemption, but she was also confident that she was probably going to make the finale because she really thought that she'd been turning it out.
Yeah. And finally was Scarlett Bobo, who was freaking out a little bit, maybe feeling the anxiety because she doesn't have much sewing experience in her drag career, and she was worried about how she'd turn out her final looks.
She was also the only one without a win other than a mini challenge, so she definitely was feeling the pressure and knew that this was the last chance to impress. Before the queens were able to take the stage to show off their 3 fabulous looks for the ball, we had to meet this week's guest host. And it happened to be legendary RuPaul alum, Michelle Visage. It was so cool to see her, and it was very nice to see an actual connection to the original show. She is such a legendary judge and with her critiques and everything else. The cast were very nervous about having her there, but to me, after many complaints by us throughout this entire season that we didn't agree with the judges, I honestly was happy to finally see somebody whose opinion I actually generally respect. The first look on the runway was the Executive Holiday Party Realness. It's kind of a slutty, satanic Mrs. Claus. Definitely a how.
Librarian with a special guest lemon.
Professor Plum.
Priyanka was serving boots with the fir tree, lights with the trim.
Jingled all the way in her Christmas tree look. In a very headline-grabbing pantsuit.
The judges can all agree this outfit was newsworthy. Second category is Icy Walk of Shame.
A weird cross between a ski bunny and a Playboy bunny.
I've never been to a chateau before, but I'd like to go with Jimbo.
She probably looked prettier in the dark club.
Rita, to me, just looked like someone's hungover uncle.
Giant Canadian sock puppet?
Priyanka's walk of shame was true, north, strong, and STI free. Scarlett was giving me 80s ice warmer workout.
Apparently passed out in a snowbank last night.
The final category is Ice Queen Eleganza.
I had a strong sense of deja redo.
Yeah, we feel like we've seen this look before.
Frosty the Snow Queen.
You know, it's almost like if Frosty had sex with Mrs. Claus.
Absolutely flawless from the neck up.
I disagree. She was a beautiful, liberal snowflake.
This fur baby was wearing a diaper.
I didn't know that Scarlett was a furry.
Well, now you've heard what we think about what they looked like. This is what the judges actually thought. The judges continue to love Jimbo's energy and really enjoyed his first two looks, but they were not keen on his Ice Queen Eleganza. They thought it looked cheap, and they didn't like his makeup, and it wasn't a good review.
Rita, on the other hand, didn't receive any positive feedback on her looks. The judges seemed to dislike all three.
Yeah, it wasn't a strong runway for Rita this week. Priyanka always gives such amazing energy, and the judges were eating it up for the first look. The second look, they were kind of 50-50 on it. Some of them thought it was cute, some of them weren't really feeling it. And then the third look, Michelle read her to filth for wearing a bodysuit with a bunch of stuff stuck to it.
It's true. Scarlett Bobo received high praise from the judges, with all the judges seemingly enjoying all of her looks that she presented on the runway.
Which, from the edit from the episode, was really surprising considering she was the only one that didn't really have any skills in that department. So to see her be the one that actually pulled it off, it was cool to see.
After some deliberation from the judges, Scarlett Bobo was deemed the winner with her very first win this season.
Bambi and I have a slight difference of opinion on Scarlett this year. Bambi has thought that Scarlett has pulled it off all the year, and I really haven't been overly impressed by anything from Scarlett. I thought she was kind of average and just safe all the time. In my humble opinion, I'm not entirely convinced that Scarlett would have done much better this week if the others had actually shown up and done what they should have. In my opinion, you're just lucky that they screwed up, or you probably were going home this week. According to the judges' reviews on our report card, to me it looked like it was going to be Priyanka and Rita in the bottom two, but they decided to put Jimbo there instead. So Jimbo and Rita were the ones that were in this week's Lip Sync for Your Life.
The song for this week's Lip Sync for Your Life was Closer by Tegan and Sarah.
They definitely tried to have a lot of fun, and they were definitely trying to do it, but unfortunately both queens were in outfits that they couldn't move in. So I think that's always something that you've got to be thinking about when you are making a design. Like, you need to know that you can perform in it if you were going to be in the bottom.
Well, speaking of thinking about it in advance, then Rita pulls out these scissors and starts cutting away the bottom half of her skirt, allowing her legs some more movement.
It was a little awkward and it wasn't exactly a clean cut, but it definitely did help improve her movement for the second half of the number.
It got the job done.
It did! It was enough to send Jimbo home.
It saved Rita and Jimbo went home.
Jimbo has been absolutely hilarious this entire season and had so many memorable moments. And unsurprisingly, Bitch's exit was just as amazing.
Ah.
She like screamed why and was like bang, like it was just so good. And then her message on the mirror, like it was just, I love Jimbo.
Yeah,
I just
crawling off stage. Like,
Yeah.
she was not walking off that stage.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, I was super proud of her. I thought she did an amazing job, and I was very happy with what I saw from Jimbo this season, and I look forward to following their career. So after Jimbo went home, it meant the final 3 for next week's finale was going to be Scarlett Bobo, Priyanka, and Rita Baga. Do you agree with this year's top 3? Comment below. We'd love to hear what you think. So that is it for episode 9. We are now ready for the finale. Are you excited? Are you ready? Who are you cheering for?
I'm cheering for Juicebox. I'll win it all.
We actually are excited that all of the queens will be returning next week, which is always nice to see, and it always adds a little bit of extra drama. But yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And the guest host for the finale is Canada's squirrel friend, Tracy Melcher.
And remember, Big D Daddy Dextrous says, like, share, subscribe, do all those wonderful things.
Thanks for watching. Bye.